Right here. There it is. X marks the spot, huh? You see this? You see what's going on? See what they're doing to our skies? Does that not bother you? Not at all? Not even a little bit? You know, when we were growing up, when a plane would fly by and leave a trail, it wouldn't just sit there for hours. It wouldn't dissipate and turn into this huge cloud. The sky wouldn't end up with this gray haze covering the entire sky. Why does it look like they're spraying an X right here? Does that bother you? What do you think about that? Does it not matter? Well, that means you're in the perfect position. And that puts you in a perfect position for what? Servitude. This whole attitude that it doesn't matter whether or not the earth is flat, doesn't matter whether or not we've been lied to. How does it affect me? Doesn't make me any difference. You know, I'm still taken care of. Talking to a guy last week, this guy says, well, hey, as far as this whole movement thing, this flat earth movement, you know, there's going to be people like me on the sidelines who aren't going to get involved. I'm taken care of. I have a good job. I can eat all the fatty foods I want. I'm fat and happy. I said good. I'm not looking for fat and happy. I want hungry and pissed off. That's who's going to actually get up and do something. You want to be fat and happy? Keep being fat and happy. But that whole attitude that it doesn't matter, how does it affect me? That's selfish, and that makes me sick. Sorry, it is what it is. That's a selfish attitude that says I don't care what my family's going through. I don't care what my neighbors are going through. I don't care about those starving kids over there. I don't care about people being bombed and all that. I don't care about the whole world being deceived as long as I'm happy in my little bubble. That is selfishness. And that makes you a perfect candidate for servitude. They want you right there. That is right where they want you mentally. Where you'll sit here and say, nope, doesn't matter. Nope, doesn't matter. You know, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm all right with being lied to. Seriously, that might be the only thing that people are okay with being lied to about. Oh, I know he's cheating on me, but it's okay. Yeah, he lied before, but I'm all right with being lied to. That's ridiculous. Think about that. And where does this put you as far as being a servant? It puts you in this situation where you end up working your life away. Working your life away, slaving away for somebody else's dreams. Because we were told when we were children, we were told go to school, work hard, get good grades, go to college, and you're going to make it. You're going to get a good job. You're going to be well off. They didn't tell you along the way you're going to be lied to. They didn't tell you along the way school is not really going to teach you everything that you need to know to navigate through life as an adult. They didn't tell you about debt. They didn't tell you about dealing with other people. They didn't teach you compassion in school. They didn't teach you any of these things that are necessary life skills. They didn't teach you how to change a tire, change the oil in your car. They didn't teach you any of that. They taught you how to sit here and memorize and regurgitate nonsense. Facts and figures. They told you what to think. They didn't teach you how to think. That's the problem with this system. And they don't want a critical thinking population. They want servants of this system. You do understand that the education system was built in order to produce a mindless, willful servant society that you're smart enough to work the gears, control the levers, do the jobs, work in the factories and all that, but you're not smart enough to think your way out of it and produce on your own. That's where they want you. They want you to be all lackadaisical, lazy, docile, apathetic, just like that attitude right there. It doesn't matter. And all the while, you're being taxed for it. You're being taxed for it, and you don't even know where the tax dollars are going. Some of it is going towards NASA. Their budget this year, $19.5 billion. You do understand that world hunger could be solved with something around $10 billion. Half of that budget could cure world hunger, period. But they're out here faking spacewalks, giving us CGI bullcrap. Where's that money going, NASA? We don't know. But we know that we got issues right here on Earth, and they're out there man. They're out here messing around. Supposedly out in space. They're actually in a swimming pool. You got to know that on these live feeds, they mess up enough. You'll see bubbles enough. They've messed up enough to where you can see that they are in a pool. You are being lied to. That's the problem. Reality should be a lot different than it is right now, and it's not, because psychopaths run the world. I'll get back to that in a second. As far as these taxes go, how did taxes used to be taken care of back in the day? There used to be guys would show up in armor with swords and a big old bag to collect your money. They would knock on your door and say, all right, you made some money, it's time to pay up. The king needs his dues. The government needs their cut. They used to take it manually. What they do today, what leaves us in this docile mindset to where we don't want to do anything about it, they take it automatically off your check, off top, electronically. Think about that. Because if somebody came to you and took that much money every month, every couple of weeks when you get paid, somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, we're here to collect that $500. Yeah, I know we didn't really show up to do any work, but yeah, we're from the federal government. We're going to need our cut. There would be problems if they still did it that way. That's why they do it electronically. And we don't even want to look at our pay stub because we know how bad we're getting screwed. But they give us distractions to keep our minds off of all these things. That's what I'm talking about, man. Psychopaths run the world. They don't care about your well-being. You do know this, right? You do understand this. How do we know that psychopaths run the world? Like I said, they could cure world hunger in a minute if they wanted to. They don't. Aquaponics is a system where water is pumped into a fish tank. The fish tank is pumped water into a grow bed of some sort. Plants can grow organically, naturally. We don't need dirt. We don't need pesticides. But what do we get? We get GMOs. We get pesticides, Roundup, Monsanto spraying the food in these chemical suits. They spray the plants in chemical suits and then put it on your plate. And we're just like, it doesn't matter. This truth is the one that will expose every other one. That's why it's important. Right there. Another way, how do we know that psychopaths run the world? How do we know that they don't care about our well-being? Cannabis. Cannabis has medicinal properties, including curing cancer. And that's been illegal up until recently. Until just a few years ago, medical marijuana, cannabis, was illegal. There are people still locked up from having a little bit of a plant, and they're behind bars right now. What's legal though? Alcohol, tobacco. Tobacco, on the box it says this can cause emphysema, heart issues, cancer. It tells you on the box that it's harmful, but yet that's legal. They push the agenda for that all over the TV. They're not even trying anymore. They got enough people hooked on cigarettes. They got enough people hooked on alcohol. Every time commercials come on your favorite shows, it's always some advertisement for alcohol, and that's legal. But we all know that alcohol has negative effects. We all know it causes liver disease. We all know you're at risk of alcohol poisoning if you consume too much. We all know that drunk driving kills thousands of people every year. We've all heard the story about the drunk father or drunk uncle who goes to the bar after work, after a rough day, and goes and beats on his wife and kids. We've all heard about that to a degree to where it's just cliche. Nobody even bats an eye about that anymore. Yet that's legal. You can sit here and consume jugs of alcohol to a point to where you black out and can't even remember what you did the next day. That's legal. But if you inhale a plant in the comfort of your home in certain states, and you just sit there and you think peaceful thoughts, watch TV, eat junk food, that's illegal. A plant, think about that. A plant that can cure cancer also, that's illegal. But alcohol, the thing that we know kills thousands of people every year, that's legal. The people in charge do not care about your health and well-being. That's obvious, just in that example alone. But they're doing much more than that. They're shooting our kids with vaccines that have mercury and formaldehyde in them. They're putting GMOs in our food. You know GMOs are banned in other countries. Yet it's legal here. There are laws protecting Monsanto, And these companies that want to put GMOs in our food, we don't really know what the stuff does. I'm guessing it has a negative effect. We all know this, and yet it doesn't matter that we're being lied to. My goodness. They put lead in the water. They allow lead to be leaked into the water. You remember the issue in Flint, Michigan? For over 3 years, lead was leaking into the water. We got brown, dirty water coming out of the faucets, affecting 100,000 children, giving them some sort of mental disorder, lead poisoning. Come on. Obviously, whoever's in charge does not care about our well-being. That is obvious. That's the most obvious thing if you just open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on. And I ask you again, do you care or not? A lot of people don't. And why don't you care? Because they're dumbing us down chemically. They're making us docile on purpose. How? With the chemtrails that they're spraying. The aluminum oxides. You walk around, you inhale that stuff. It doesn't flush out through your body. It goes into your brain, slows down your cognitive functions to a point to where you just don't really care what's going on because your thoughts are too clouded with all the distractions. In addition to that, they're putting fluoride in our water. What does fluoride do? It's another agent to dumb us down chemically. It makes you slow. It puts you in a position where you are docile, where you do not care. And this is what we're living with. This is what we deal with. And this is supposed to be the land of the free? You think you're free? Give me a list of things that you can do without government permission. I'll give you a list of things that you can't do. You can't build a house. You can't drive a car. You can't own a gun. You can't go fishing without government permission. You can't collect rainwater. You can't hunt. You can't get married. You can't work. You can't start a business. You can't fly on a commercial airplane. You can't leave the country without permission. But we're free, right? We're not slaves. We're not meant to live life like this. We're not meant to work our lives away for somebody else's dreams, especially not a group of psychopaths. And they're not going to stop. We need to get free. That's all any of us want. All any of us want really is to have our loved ones taken care of, have our needs met, and just live our lives in peace. We just want to be free. That's all any of us want. It's freedom. This is supposed to be the land of the free. But you know what? We're also told this, that you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Now this is what we're going to do. We got minds to free. We got minds to set free. This is what this is all about. Spreading truth. We need to get this truth across this flat plane as fast as we can. Because something's about to shake. I can feel it. The truth shall set them free. It'll set you free. Don't run from the truth. Embrace this and then pass it along to other people. So let's do what we do. And what's that? We spread truth, we expose the lies, and we demand answers. This is the Flat Earth Offensive. And if you're watching this, you are part of the resistance. Let's get to work.